Hello AOS fans, Robin here, back once more with another Road to the Grand Clash video for you. Yes, I'm going to quickly talk today about Netdecking, and these are in my preparations for the Grand Clash. If you frequent any forum for Warhammer Underworld, you'll see somebody wins glass, and the very next question somebody asks is, "Deck please," and people put up their decks, which is great. But if you also look at on Underworld's DB at the kind of decks that have won, you can see all the decks that have won the major tournaments. If you look at them, this isn't completely true, but there's very little variation between them. We're suggesting the competitive meta is quite stagnant's the wrong word, but quite settled. Obviously there are differences, but there are a reason why certain warbands do very well, and there's a reason why certain cards just keep reappearing time after time after time. What you think about that is probably subject to an entirely different conversation. But what I want to talk about is, should one net deck when going to the Grand Clash, or should one not? I don't know. I mean, I feel that this isn't really there's no right answer to this question. In fact, I think if there is a right answer, it's probably yes, one should. But where do you start? I mean, if everybody took the same deck, like if this deck is really, really good, I'm just going to take it, then it would be very interesting at the tournament. However, there is absolutely no point in going right back to first principles, especially if you don't get so many games in, and just reinventing the wheel, finding out which cards are good, which cards work together. People are already doing that for you, because people with more time perhaps than you have, or certainly than I have, who are playing iteration after iteration and honing down that honing down an efficient set of cards, because at the end of the day the game is about efficiency, I think, and winning is about efficiency, which I think is why the Curse Breakers play so well, because they're a very efficient deck. They're very good at what they do, and they can double down on what they do, so they're very efficient at turning activations into glory. So sort of returning to net decking, though, they're all there and people will do it, but I never quite know whether that's the way to go. I've seen some comments about Pete and I's style, saying that we don't choose good decks. But what is a good deck? I mean, okay, good decks are decks that win tournaments. Obviously, I suppose it all comes down to is what makes a good deck. You've got to be able to play it. You can read as many good decks as you like, but if you don't like that play style, then you're not going to be able to do it. So you do need to insert some of your own individuality onto it, I think. However, if a deck is very efficient, I played Aman's Cursebreaker's deck that he took to a Adepticon, and it just played itself really well. I mean, I was lucky with dice rolls, but it just played itself really well. It was very clear what you had to do. I'm not saying you need some understanding of the game to play it, but actually Aman put together a brilliant deck there, which just worked, which was just great. And he spent the effort and time in doing that, so why not borrow it? I don't know. I kind of feel like I had Godsworn Hunt vision, for example, that I was perhaps going to take, and then I've been listening to other people, Matt Martin, who's very proficient with the Godsworn Hunt. He's done something with the Battlecast to talk about his deck, and he's shown me the deck, and I suddenly found myself there are some cards obviously that I have made mistakes with, and he pointed out what they are, and I could see that. But I found myself pulling out cards that I liked and maybe putting his cards in, and then at what point does the deck become his and not mine, and do I mind that? Is really why I started to make this video. I'm not sure. I don't just want to take his deck with me, really, because it's not my deck. I haven't felt it. I could play it a few times. Perhaps it would become feel like mine. But I think even if I did well, even if I do badly, maybe I should. If I do badly, I could just blame Matt. But even if I do well, then when I'll be thinking, well, actually, I didn't come up with this. Perhaps it doesn't matter. Perhaps net decking is inevitably there, and everybody does it. And obviously, I look at Aman's decks a lot to see how they put together. And then maybe I might tweak a few cards. I don't like victory after victory, which he tends to put in. So there's a few things you tweak just to make it your own, or just to suit your own play style a little bit. I suppose really what I'm saying is how much of a victory is it if you have taken the deck and just taken somebody else's deck and just sat down and played it. I reckon it probably, at the end of the day, isn't really that much different, because you do need to practice, you do need to pilot it well. The game is probably only really 1/3 deck. Obviously, you need a good deck, but if you need good positioning on the day, and you also need good dice rolls on the day, all those things are mitigated by circumstances, depending on what kind of style you play. But at the end of the day, a good deck will not win on its own, mainly because it can't roll dice. And so that's it. So what are your thoughts on net decking? Do you always net deck? Do you take the best decks and try to make them better? Or do you always start at the beginning with your own ideas and kind of build up on your own experiences? what cards you like to play. I think probably most of us it's going to be a combination of all those three things. That's certainly what it will be for whatever team I take to the Grand Clash, whoever I settle on. If I take the Hunt, I'll have taken some of Matt's ideas. If I take Profiteers, I'll have taken some of Aman's ideas. But generally, Aman's ideas for deck building are great, and they've kind of feed into most decks. And if I play Magic on the Eyes of the Nine, then that's going to be another one of our patrons, Andrew, he gave me those ideas. So everything is built on what's gone before, standing on the shoulders of giants, I suppose. Scientists do it, why shouldn't deck builders do it too? So until next time, when I'll be back talking about experiences and my preparations for the Grand Clash, we'll see you soon. Bye!